The fog. They said no one lived at the end of Willow Lane anymore. The road had been cut off for years. The bridge collapsed. The forest grew thick and wild around it. But Emma didn't know that. She had just moved to town a week ago. New apartment, new job, a chance to start over. That night, she worked late. The last bus had already gone. Her phone battery was almost gone too. So she decided to walk. It was only supposed to take 30 minutes. Then the fog rolled in. Thick, white, heavy. It wrapped around the trees and swallowed the road. Her footsteps made no sound. Even her breath felt like it was being pulled away. Then she saw it. Through the fog just behind the trees, a house, large and crumbling, with a crooked roof and dark windows. One upstairs window glowed faintly. Part 2. The house that waited. Emma stopped in front of the gate. It was made of old iron, twisted and covered in rust, but it wasn't locked. She pushed it open. It groaned loudly, like it hadn't moved in years. The porch creaked under her weight. The front door was slightly open. She hesitated. The fog behind her was too thick to see the road anymore, and the air was cold, uncomfortably cold. She stepped inside. The door creaked shut behind her, slowly, on its own. Part 3, the first floor. Emma froze and turned around. There was no one there. She took a deep breath and moved forward. The hallway was long and narrow, lined with dusty wallpaper that peeled at the corners. She pulled out her flashlight. Its beam flickered weakly. To her left, a living room covered in white sheets. Furniture-shaped ghosts waiting in silence. To her right, a kitchen. The sink was full of black, unmoving water. She walked carefully. The floor creaked beneath her with each step. Then she saw the paintings. The hallway walls were covered with portraits, but every face had been scratched out. All of them, except one. A girl, long dark hair, pale skin, wide, sad eyes. Emma stared. The girl looked just like her. Part 4. The mirror room. At the end of the hall stood a tall wooden door. She opened it. Inside was a room with only one object, an old mirror. The glass was cracked at the corners and the wooden frame was warped, but the reflection was clear. Emma stepped closer. She looked into the mirror. Her reflection looked back. Then it didn't. It moved. Just a second. Too late, as if it were remembering how to copy her. Then, behind her reflection, a shadow, small, still. She turned around. Nothing there. She looked back. The shadow was gone. Part 5, the upstairs. A sound came from above her. Footsteps, slow, heavy. She climbed the stairs, each step complaining under her weight. The upstairs hallway was lined with closed doors, all of them shut. Except one. It was slightly open. Inside was a child's bedroom, toys scattered across the floor, books without covers, a small bed with a torn blanket. On the wall, crayon drawings, stick figures, a house, a tall figure with no face. Underneath, in a child's handwriting, it read, "I told her not to leave." Emma stepped back. A toy piano in the corner played a single note by itself. Part 6, the voices. The air grew colder. Emma's breath came out in small clouds. Then the whispers began. "You left us here. You said you'd stay. Why did you lie?" Her heart pounded. She turned to run, but the staircase was gone. Where it had been, there was only a blank wall. She touched it, solid, cold. She was trapped. Part 7. The whispering rooms around her began to hum, not with electricity, but with breath. She stumbled into a side room. In the center stood another mirror, larger, unbroken. She looked inside. The girl was there, the one from the painting, smiling. "You remember now, don't you?" she said. Emma shook her head. "You lived here," the girl whispered. "You died here. You came back because you never really left." Emma stepped back. The floor beneath her cracked. A cold wind blew from nowhere. The mirror began to ripple. Hands reached out, thin, white, silent. They grabbed her, pulled. Part 8, the return. She tried to scream, but no sound came out. The room fell into darkness. The walls disappeared, and Emma was gone. Part 9, the next morning. Willow Lane was quiet the next day. The fog had lifted, birds chirped. At the very end of the road, hidden behind trees, the old house stood silently. The gate was closed, the windows empty. Inside,